A recent report from ABC News says that Republican strategists are freaking out about a possible, what they're calling, shaft of Republicans in the 2022 midterms if things continue the way they are. And those things that they're worried about continuing is the pressing of H.R. 1, also known as the For the People Act. We have talked about it, everybody's talked about it, and it's a very important piece of legislation, and it terrifies Republicans because this piece of legislation would enormously expand the voting rights of American citizens. It would do away with a lot of the Republican voter suppression efforts. It would basically counter a lot of pending Republican voter suppression efforts, voter ID, closing down drop boxes, expanding vote by mail. And Republicans understand that if this were to happen, more people would vote, and then that would mean doom for the Republican Party. And it's very interesting that Republicans are no longer accidentally saying these things, right? That's what stuck out to me the most about this ABC report. Over the last year, as I've pointed out many times, we have seen lots of Republicans accidentally admit that, oh no, if more people vote, Republicans are doomed. We're never going to win another election, as Trump recently said. We'll never win another election if H.R. 1, the For the People Act, passes. Rand Paul has accidentally said the same thing late last year, that, oh, when we have more people voting, if more people are voting by mail, Republicans will never win again. Trump also said a similar thing last summer, which is why he destroyed the United States Postal Service. But now that the veil's been dropped and these Republican strategists understand, like, okay, it's out in the open, they openly tell ABC that if H.R. 1 passes, we're screwed and Democrats are going to win. Now, here's my take on this whole thing. And again, this is something I have said ad nauseum, and I'm going to continue saying it as long as it remains true, which is probably going to be forever. Republicans have nothing to offer the American public. Nothing but culture war nonsense, cancel culture talking points that aren't actually real. No policy to speak of, though. Right, this is the party that spent the last 11 years now telling us they were going to give us an alternative to the Affordable Care Act, and they still haven't come up with it. They haven't had a new idea in 40 years, and the last new idea they had, trickle-down economics, was an abject failure. But because they have nothing to offer, because they have nothing to campaign on, they have to restrict the rights of American citizens to vote, because that is the only way they can get people to vote for them. You keep away the people who actually care about issues. You drive the people to the polls who care about the stupid talk, you know, the single issue voters, the abortion voters who swear totally that the next time Republicans have control, they're totally going to get rid of that. As if they haven't had enough opportunities to do that in the last 20 years and didn't deliver on it because they don't actually care about it. But that's what they want. Those are the people they want voting. The other people out here, the people who say, well, I'm not that interested in voting. Well, what if we just give you the ballot in your living room and then you send it in? Okay, I mean, I'd do that. What if you didn't have to stand in line for 6 hours to cast a ballot? Okay, well, yeah, I'd vote then. But I don't want to drive past my precinct and see those lines wrapped around the building. I'll just forego it. And that is the plan of Republicans. That's why you see the lines. That's why they want to get rid of ballot drop boxes and voting by mail. Because if they make it harder, if they make it a hassle, if they make it a day-long process, they can keep more people away from the polls. And that is why they're freaking out. Because H.R. 1 would address a lot of that and get rid of decades of Republican voter suppression. And nothing scares the Republican Party more. Because if that happens, then they suddenly have to actually come up with ideas and platforms on which to run instead of counting on voter suppression and gerrymandering. And that, for Republicans, is the most terrifying thought of all.